Fat to Fit, week 15. I'm going to do some poses so you guys can see my change in muscularity over time. I keep trying to do this each week, but I keep forgetting. So luckily this week I finally remembered, here's my back. This is what my back looks like. I'm trying to get rid of these fat rolls right here. Hopefully those will come off. But unfortunately, this week was not really very good, to be honest. It could have been a lot better. We had been doing pretty well for a little while, but then the Super Bowl came around, and then that day plus 2 days following that, I cheated and binge ate for 3 days straight. It was not very good. This was probably our worst binge since like Christmas, so pretty bad. That did definitely set our progress back a little bit, but hey, we'll get over it, I guess. I'm pretty confident in myself, I guess, even though we haven't been doing the best recently. But hey, next week is another week. Hopefully, next week is going to go a lot better. I'm going to try really hard not to cheat next week. That'll probably help a lot. So we're going to get all of this bloat off of us. That's very important. Last week at my lowest, I weighed in at 180.6 pounds. This week at our lowest, we weighed in at 178.2 pounds. So that is a difference of 2.4 pounds. So we did lose some weight this week. Unfortunately, though, that is before my binge, and that is also after a day of fasting. So obviously, my glycogen stores would have been pretty low at that time. So my water weight would have been like non-existent. So take that with a grain of salt. But at least the scale did come down a little bit this week. Oh well. We'll do better next week. I'm going to try really hard not to cheat next week. This week I've been super busy at work, and that really stressed me out a lot. I'm very burnt out because of that. I have been chilling out the last day or two, so I have been making a little progress in that department, trying to recuperate my willpower again. And we're going to try really hard to exercise a lot more next week as well, because we didn't really do very much of it this week. Even though I didn't do much exercise on paper, I did move around quite a lot because, like I said, I was busy all week long. So at least I did get some movement in. Even though it isn't really shown in this paper. But last week I had on average 8 hours of sleep per night. This week that dropped pretty far to 7.3 hours per night. Like I said, I was very busy. I had to wake up very early some points, and also I was just kind of irresponsible and didn't go to sleep early enough as well. So a combination of those two things made our sleep drop quite a bit this week. But last week I had 1,930 calories per day on average. This week, unfortunately, that went up quite a lot to 3,205 calories per day on average. Again, we had 3 big binge eating days where really I only estimated how many calories I had those days. I think I did do a pretty good estimate those days, so I am confident that I didn't have any more than this. But still, that's quite a lot. That's not very good for weight loss, having over 3,000 calories a day for a week. That's not very good. So we're going to work on that next week. Last week I had 145 grams of protein per day on average. This week that went down quite a bit to 109 grams of protein per day on average. This is mainly because I did fast that one day, and when I binge eat, I don't really record what I eat, and so of course I have no idea what protein I had for those days. So I usually don't factor those days into my average protein calculations for the week. So basically, I got this average 109 grams per day from the 4 days where I did actually eat, track what I eat. One of those days I ate nothing. So obviously the average is going to drop a little bit, but we're going to do better next week on that. Last week I ran 17 miles in 3 hours, 16 minutes, and 31 seconds. This week we ran only 7 miles all in one run, actually, in 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 2 seconds. Last week we ran at about a pace of 11.6 minutes per mile. This week we ran at a pace of 11.1 minutes per mile, so at least there's improvement in that department, I guess. Oh well, usually if I run less miles, I have lower times, so it's really kind of to be expected. Not much of an accomplishment there, but I guess it's something. And this week I did 162 push-ups. We're getting back into the push-ups, trying to exercise again. That's very important. I want to exercise a lot more, mainly cardio and push-ups and whatnot, and then we're probably going to factor some actual weightlifting back in very soon. I keep saying that, and I keep getting kind of lazy and not doing it, so I'm going to work on that. But yeah, anyways, next week we're going to focus really hard on getting more sleep, eating less calories, not cheating, no more cheat days where I go crazy and binge eat. We're going to try really hard to do that next week because it's been quite a while since we had a week where we didn't do that, so that's very important. Also, I'm going to do more push-ups. I'm going to do more runs. I'm starting ruck marching as well, so I'm going to try and do that. I did that earlier today, and it was exhausting, so hopefully that'll help with calorie burning. Yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you later today for day 106. Peace out.